I missed type, but he looks funny.
It's a halfling. Hey Dylan, do you want to hop down into the Hideaway Inn to discuss a few things real quick?
Sure.
Alright.
What's up?
Well, we've been trying to get together all week. Playing phone
Yeah, but your
tag.
character.
Yeah. So, I had some concerns about the velocity attack.
Mhm.
And I was thinking of, like I said, taking that aberrant dragon mark, kind of play along with the curse. But I was thinking of taking the jump spell for my first level spell, and that might be overpowered if we're in open spaces.
Yeah, it might be.
Because that'll give me 7d6 plus weapon damage.
Where is it? I'm trying to find the document for it. There it is. Where's the deal for attack? I mean, I don't really think it's that complicated, but I'll ask just and see if you are cool with it. So you get an extra d6 for every 10 feet that you fall. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How about after 20 foot, it's every 20 feet?
So it'd be 2d6 and then a d6 every 20 feet after?
Yeah. Because I think that would be pretty balanced at that point.
That or I just don't take the jump spell, and then it's got normal progression.
I'm just saying, if you want to, that's the way we could balance it. Or if you just don't want to take the jump spell, then I guess we can keep it as is.
Would it... I guess at what point would it be more balanced for that type of damage? Like level 6? Level 8?
Probably level 8.
Okay. Then...
And I'm just letting you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because you understand how the game works and everything. It's not like you're a first time or anything. If your character, just your base character, is super strong, you're going not less cool magic items, because I give everybody cool magic items, like flavor and everything, but yours might do, 2d6 besides if you took something weaker, it might do 2d8 or something.
I understand.
Because I want to keep everybody, if they're damaged, if somebody's straight tank and they only want a tank, I'm not going to let them just like give them a weapon so they can keep up with somebody. But
right.
I'm going to try to keep the balance of the party somewhat together.
Okay.
So nobody outshines each other or nobody gets left behind.
Okay.
So it's completely up to you. You're not going to break the game either way.
Yeah, I was just thinking, because I decided to go Lance, just because the art looks awesome. So that's a D12, and if I were to use the jump spell, which it's only once a day, but that's a D12 plus 7d6 damage if there's height for me to jump. So I feel like that amount of damage at level 3 is gonna totally ruin combats for everyone else. Either I'm decimating people or you're gonna have to tune it so high.
We can
I mean,
just do like I just said about after every 10 feet beyond that, every 20 feet, and then eventually you unlock it where it's not every 20 feet. It's just whenever you jump, and we could just say that you got better at it.
yeah. Well, I think what we can do, as long as he lives, is I'll just RP it that he has the mark. And it's just not arcanely. It's not activated yet, right? And I'll just get that feat later down the road,
All right.
just to keep it in fair. I mean, I can still get that damage if I were to say jump off of a building, but it's not like I can do it on demand.
Yeah.
Like, that's getting up onto a building, making a check to not fall, and then doing a jump off of a building. I mean, that's 2 or 3 rounds before that's set up, versus first round cast the spell, second round jump.
And if you're playing against somebody who knows combat at all, I'm just letting you know they might hold their action for you to land by them, and then they're gonna swing when you're midair. They would get the velocity damage back on you as well.
How would that work? Like, if they,
Because,
I guess if they had like Polearm Master or something like that, right? Like,
if they just hold their action for you to come in their melee, like once you jump or something.
if they've seen me do it before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or eventually, whenever you become known for jumping off of buildings at people. Crazy kamikaze.
Okay. In that
the
case,
first time anybody sees it, yeah, they're not going to wait for it. They're like, what is that guy doing?
yeah, obviously it's same trick doesn't work twice on most people. So, but that's just one part of his thing for now. In that case, I'm gonna take the mobile feat, and I will pull that dragon mark later.
All right.
Where is mobile on? There it is.
Now let's jump up there with Kaz.
Yep. We're back.
So did you guys make it where you're entering together or alone? I'm fine with it.
We didn't get a chance to talk. Not really.
Well, you guys don't know. You don't have to know each other for that long. I thought of a reason why because his character would be coming to this town.
Mm-hmm.
And your character would help somebody else if they're seeing somebody else getting attacked on the road, yeah?
Definitely.
Lucas, yeah. The roads in this kingdom are not very safe because it's not patrolled. And
Okay.
it seems to the north there's been more and more accidents. And all
Okay,
that.
and we came from
creatures becoming more aggressive.
right.
You most likely came from the north unless you're from this continent, because you're pretty far south in this continent.
Right. And then the original party came from the east, heading west. Right.
Oh yeah, but
Okay.
you're still pretty south, like
Right.
in the kingdom stuff.
Yeah,
So
I
you
would say that's
guys
fine.
could have come from the north, and it's a little more chaotic and things are more aggressive. The more it seems like it goes more to the north, and because his character could have been attacked on the road by many different things, and you could come help, and you could decide you guys was going in the same direction at the very least,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys could start camping with each other for a few nights before you made it to this town. Because you it's up to you if you want to do it this way. It's some way to interact for you to be here. You found a job posting for this town that wanted somebody who knew the identify spell. And if you came to this town and performed it for them, they would give you the materials if needed, and also a couple hundred gold.
Definitely. That works for me.
Currently, the pearl that was meant for you was bought from
Oh,
Lucas.
it's on a dead body in the woods.
Yeah, so you're gonna show up and like just crap happened, but that's the reason you came to this town in the first place.
So sorry.
Such is life, right? Is the game still up? For some reason, I can't see it.
No, it crashed for me.
What? I'm still in it.
It said it disconnected.
Can you guys reconnect?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now, but I don't see it.
Yeah, it's not even in the server list.
Let me make it again.
So, as for meeting Araster, is that how you pronounce your name?
Autosteer is like
Okay.
Well, he's Elven, so.
When I fought with him against what was it, like bandits or was it creatures?
Wait till you guys join, and I'll have you both roll a roll to see if you guys understand what happened.
Okay. All these. I guarantee it's all the tablets on all the tables that's causing it trouble.
Probably.
Well, and that's when I believe I got rid of everybody who don't use them.
Well, you've got.
Don't use
Did you do it on every
no,
table?
not yet.
That's probably what it is.
But we was on this one, so it shouldn't affect the other. Alrighty. Both of you roll me Arcana.
Oh, 9. 9! Yeah, intelligence, not my strong suit.
Hopefully your friend, your newly acquired friend here, bails you out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's good at Arcana.
If we die before we start the game, I'm gonna be pissed.
So what's your plus up for Arcana? You would understand because that there was some force of magic, not necessarily, and it was coming from these deer. You guys was attacked, well, at least you was being attacked by some deer, and your friend here came up and helped you. They was not acting normal. They was being very aggressive. And almost insane. This thing is not normal at all. But beyond, there was something magical coming off of them. You don't know anything more than that. Crap, I didn't save it, so I have to redo your token.
Alright. Can you hear him? Because I can't hear him.
Sounds like he's far away again.
Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah. Was the mic on top of your head?
I'm not wearing it because it's too friggin' hot.
Ah.
I'm saying you can delete my tablet because I can't use it for the
Alright.
gone.
Alright. And I'm about to save the game, so don't do anything crazy. There we go.
Oh, this is gonna be silly.
I'm gonna see if I can hit the old boars. I mean the new boars in the old into the old.
I got 2 Orlide marbles.
Yep, one's a little bit more meaty than the other. I updated it so she's a little bit more buff.
Oh, nice.
Let's see if I can do this. Like playing pool now. I'm gonna try to knock that one into that one. Why didn't it flip?
Good one.
No,
Oh,
I
off his
completely
base.
whiffed it. You can try as well, but you have to start from way back here on the wood. I knocked that one, and that's Oblivion, but I did not knock him into the other. I'm about to change their positions real fast. There, maybe that'll work better. But can you do it?
Oh, look at that bounce.
Skipped it.
I rolled an 18 though. There's like an invisible ramp right there before the.
I'll put your dice in the middle.
Oh.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey.
I finally made it.
Oh, they're in the garden or something?
Yeah, I was trying to string up my tomato plants and I had a tumble.
That was so close.
Got stabbed by a wooden stake and everything.
Ow. You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. More aches. It didn't actually like penetrate skin because the ground's super soft from all the rain we've been getting, so it kind of just like sat on my chest and then fell over. And that kind of went with it.
I did it!
Dylan, please don't scream in my ear.
Can I scream at you as long as it's not near?
If you want, it's up to you.
Okay.
That wasn't directed at you, by the way. Sorry, Dylan. That wasn't directed at you.
Yeah, it was.
That wasn't. Hi, Zachary. Zachary, you keep unplugging my computer. Stop that. Alright. Yeah, stop unplugging my computer. Beeping in my ear.
I just thought we can make like putt golf in this. I can make like a level we can use for dices. We could.
We could.
You could probably just get golf balls to put down there.
Failed to connect. Why? It's all a conspiracy. Dylan doesn't want me in the game.
Mhm.
You know, I remember, I think it was like a few weeks ago, somebody in the general chat was complaining that all the D&D games were locked. And they were like, why are all the D&D games locked? Somebody was like, probably because they're all private games. He's like, I want to play D&D, but all the games are locked. Yeah, they're private. What's up?
Silly people.
Trying to make a ramp, but nope.
Come on, connect to the server.
You can do it.
Come on. Oh, no, I can't find the server. What? Alright. Let's try this again. Okay, there it is. Failed to connect again.
Let's see if this is better to shoot for shooting stuff up.
Oh, did you give me a marble to play with?
Do we actually have marble?
I don't know. You put a round thing in front of my character.
The thing you just hit?
Yeah.
It's not a marble, that's a staircase.
What'd you do to it?
I don't know, it's a staircase.
Oh, it's perfect. It's a perfect marble on my screen.
Well, there's your marble. There's a green marble for you.
Problem solved.
Love it.
Now let's see if we can throw around these marbles even better than our die.
Do I get extra points because he landed upside down on his head? Oh, never mind. Right there.
I want to see if this one's better for shooting because it's metallic. It's nice and flat. Whoa, that went like a straight bullet. Yeah, this is good for shooting things off of.
Okay, I didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to try restarting my computer. Because this is just being nuts. So, I will be right back.
Okie dokie.
These marbles, they're like bullets now. You pull back on them long enough, they just shoot straight. They like... Want me to make yours like a bullet?
No, it's alright.
If you go under and make it where it's not sticky, it'll probably shoot better. Ah! Can I flick it downward?
In the vertical plane? I don't think so.
You want to see how many times it could bounce off of things?
Yeah.
Ah, it just stuck in. Why did it get stuck in the corner?
The physics of this table is terrible.
So they try to go to the corners. For some reason, the marbles they get sucked into the corner.
Yeah.
See? Not from the angle where I released it, should never went to that corner. It should have bounced back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Probably ended up in the middle somewhere. Around a staircase.
Aw.
Put mine in front of yours. Come on, I can throw it better than that. I'm just trying to throw it as hard as I can. I have some weak throws. See how weak my throws are? You guys try it. Is it the mechanic for throwing doesn't work that well? When you're throwing marble?
Throw. Where's the throw?
You just click on it, hold your mouse, and throw it.
That's pretty weak.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Oh, that's what it is. You gotta get some spin on it.
What?
It's Pokemon Go. Yeah.
Whoa! I just hit a home run! Holy crap, I don't know how I just threw it like that.
If you're not trying to actually hit something, you can... Oh! Hey!
Okay, I just moved it back and then forward like really fast, and I threw it like almost off the table from over here. There we go. Now I'm throwing it.
Yeah, there it is. You gotta build momentum. But you know what? It's weird. Oh,
Doesn't really work if you do it sideways.
you know what it is? It's where you're releasing it.
I'll be right back.
Haha. If you release it off the table, it goes further. If you release it on the table, it slows down so you don't hit pieces. Haha.
Oh my god, it keeps saying failed to connect. Come on, game, I believe. Ah. There we go. Finally. What color was it again?
Light blue.
Yeah, it was teal. Oh, look at that. My character sheet is still logged in and everything. That's great.
Lucky you.
What are we doing here?
Shooting marbles.
Oh, slammed that right into the corner. Oh, thank you. Oh. Why does mine just like keep coming to a stop in the corner? Isn't this thing supposed to ricochet?
Yeah, the table,
Sorry.
the the table dynamics, it like sucks things to the corner.
I see.
That doesn't actually.
Okay, well I just lost a red marble.
Stupid Skype.
Oh wow, there's two of me on the table. That's interesting.
Gave you a little more bulk.
Oh, there I go. Oh, crap. How do I turn this around again? There we go. Perfect.
So I'm gonna link you a picture to my garden accident.
In the Discord?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can find this picture. Yeah,
Ooh, damn.
Yeah. Just mowing the lawn, and there was a metal survey stake that had a nice burr on it from a sledgehammer. I was
Ooh.
going to mow around it, slipped and fell.
Ow. That looks painful.
Down to the bone. It was great.
Ooh.
I got a lovely scar now, so.
There you go. You tell people it was anything now.
Yeah.
Make it sound like it was something impressive.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it looks like there's toes. It almost looks like a child's foot.
You could say it was a child. You could say baby raged all over your leg. Left a lasting imprint.
This is what happens when you oppose Chucky. You cut your shins.
Yeah, he'll get you. I think this is it for tonight.
Is it?
I think so. Because Boris said he wasn't coming today, right?
He did?
I thought he did.
I thought it was last week.
Let's see up here.
Or 2 weeks ago.
Let's see here. Let's see.
I mean, we haven't played for 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, no. A couple weeks, yeah.
What's up? What is it about doing?
Waiting for other people. Sharing, gardening, bloody pictures.
No, maybe it was just last week.
I saw Pigeon get online and then he went offline.
Yeah. I did too.
Speak of the devil.
Yep.
And I haven't heard from her.
From Yukami?
Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you something about Yukami. Yukami's dropping out of all 5e games because she don't like the mechanics of 5e at all. Aggravates her and it's not fun for her.
She likes
she dropped
overly
out all of
complicated
her-
mechanics.
Yeah, like Pathfinder. She really loved the game that Summer was DMing, and she really loved this game. But if you only love half of something and you hate something else, it makes it where I'm sure you guys understand because
Oh, yeah.
it's something weird and unique about our tabletop RPGs. I can get mad at a video game and still play it, but whenever I get mad, my creativity shuts down. I don't have fun with RPGs anymore, like tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
It ruins my entire night of gaming after I get mad. So that's kind of what happened to her. She would get mad at a mechanic and then she wouldn't have fun. So she officially dropped out of this game, so I have to figure out a way to have her character go off into the sunset.
Just ever run into like a overpowered fight, like something she could possibly win on her own.
Boris could eat her.
That too.
That's what she would have wanted.
Yeah. What are we gonna do with her murder horse?
Oh, she's taking her murder horse with her.
Oh, she's packing up her murder horse and going home.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I just talked to Pigeon. Apparently school just started up again. And he's gonna have to see if he can make it on Thursdays now. Because school was more than what he thought it was going to be.
So, do we need more players?
Possibly.
I don't want to lose Boris though. He's so much fun.
And
Damn it,
preferably
Boris.
players that's comedic relief players, because that when I was building this team, his character and Yukami's character, well, not their characters, but their personalities. They were supposed to be comic relief kind of people.
What was I?
question,
Was I too serious, Dylan?
You're super serious. No, I figured there'd be 3 people who would be straight comedic relief. Bakaza, he seems pretty chill, but also every once in a while he will do something crazy, and it's pretty funny. And Summer, she's
Just like
whenever she plays, she's pretty quiet and pretty laid back. She
I
enjoys
can't
the
be the only
story.
one talking. I don't have enough charisma in this party.
I will make an effort. I will make an effort.
But every once in a while, she'll just like drop a bomb and everybody laughs. But like game to game, she's pretty chill and quiet.
Strong silent type, you know.
Oh, have you seen your new tokens?
No, I just see my old ones. For some reason, I have 2.
I'm gonna line them up next to each other. See anything different?
Let me zoom in here. Maybe a height difference.
There should be the exact same height, but the one to the right has more muscle and a little bit more broad. So I was going to ask you, do you want your barbarian to be like all ripped and jacked and raging?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she's like half Goliath. She's gonna be all jacked and muscular.
All right. Well, then we'll keep the one to the right then, because it's about as big as I can make her without starting to make her look like she's weird.
Yeah.
It's all veiny.
Like looking, no, it starts to look like you're trying to stretch out a model if you go too wide.
I just got marbles,
Unlike you would
so
with a
I can't
picture
even
or
see your
something.
tokens. I got one slightly larger marble to a smaller.
What?
You can look
Have
at
you
the
been able to
stream.
see them before?
I saw them when we first came in, and then it broke, and now all I see is marbles of per tokens.
Okay. We're gonna reload them.
Oh no!
Oh, look at that! I'm so strong. I knocked over a staircase.
Are you able to see things now?
No.
Loading.
Shader did not load correctly. Yes, it's Bumble. Oh, there it is. Now I see.
And is that a staircase next to a
It's
wall?
now a staircase and not
Okay.
a golf ball.
This guy here beside Boris is just, if you zoom in on him, he is so wide-eyed.
Well, that is the new Boris. So.
Like, this guy looks like he's seen some shit. He really does. You like zoom in on him, his eyes are just like, oh my god.
But that seems like Boris, though.
Stay a while and listen. There once was Diablo.
Oh, I wish they would do something with that game.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dead. Kind of bugs me when they like come out with a new announcement for Diablo 3. Like, oh, we've got this announcement. Guess what? It's season 14. It's like, okay, so basically all 13 seasons before it. Like, give us something new.
Apparently, based off of Blizzard's release cycles, Diablo 4 should come in the next 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, there was a point when, you know, companies could get away with releasing, like, sequels over years, but there's so many games coming out, it's like, you can't wait that long anymore.
Yeah, from 2 to 3, I think it was 12 years.
Yeah.
I think they're going for that again between 3 and 4. The
Well,
thing
they
is, though,
announced-
you know they're going to sell millions upon millions of copies.
Probably. Well, they said they've got Diablo projects coming up, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'll believe that one too.
They're going to put the Butcher in Heroes of the Storm. That's what's going to happen.
Isn't he already in Heroes of the Storm?
I don't know. I don't play it.
I thought yeah, I think he's already in there.
Maybe.
They put Deckard Cain in there.
Yeah.
I do have a question to ask everybody. If you guys can think of how can I recruit people for Tabletop Simulator? It's not Roll20.
Mm-hmm. My only answer would be Twitter.
Okay, I can try Twitter.
That's pretty much the only place I can think of. That or finding a like a online D&D message board, or even trying Reddit. I don't have an account on Reddit.
Go to D&D Beyond and do
Oh,
search for
shoot,
players
yeah.
there. That's where everyone that's using online stuff is going right now.
Oh, there you go.
Hmm.
You
See,
can
this is
post
why I
in
asked
looking for
questions.
players, and then look in the ones that people are looking for games.
Are we gonna all like vet them as a group, like we've done with your previous campaigns, Dylan, where it's like picking the Bachelor or something?
I mean, sure.
That's what it basically was. We each share like, hey, I really like this application, and we'd all go read it and then talk about whether we liked it or not. It was fun.
I would interview them, and if anybody's online, they could jump in as well.
Send in a 30-second YouTube video of why you should be in our campaign.
Alright, since only one person is alive and is able to speak currently from our last game, it's up to you guys if you guys want to jump into this. You get this thing going. Or I can just tell you some pieces about the world, like lore-wise. That your characters would know somewhat things about.
I'm always down for some lore, to be honest.
Either's fine for me. I mean, it'd probably be good at least if Orlai knew of our characters, in case we do get a fourth in here.
That too.
I see people just flicking away. We can play like a little short session. I don't want to jump all the way into everything yet, because pretty much I'm going to tell you there's two main ways you guys can go, like roads that has villages and stuff. Of course, there's other ways you guys can go. You guys can say that you want to go to the south, but there's not too much to do to the south. So I will explain to you what's down each way, and you guys can pick which direction you guys want to go, because what city or town seems cool to you, and we'll go in that direction. And after that, we'll probably stop for the night. And you guys, if I actually find somebody that's worth joining, then I'll add them in this session. And you guys can go into the first town or whatever together.
Oh, shit, sorry.
I saved my character. That was awesome. I alone stand.
That was
Oh my,
unintentional.
Dylan, I used my jump attack.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Mhm.
Oh.
This will be something different than just a black mat.
Funny, that happened just as I went to grab something on the table. I thought I did something wrong. Like, oh my god, I screwed up the table.
Got the perfect warlock, her weapons and supplies, but you
I can't believe they made a video on that.
Who was playing that? I about jumped out of my chair. That was so loud.
I did not hear anything.
Was I the only one that heard it?
Mm-hmm.
I heard it too.
got the perfect warlock,
Oh.
weapons and supplies, but you need a place to drink your
Yeah, I hear that.
'cause your soul
I
is
hear that.
organized. You click open the webpage, you heard about a
Where's that
great
coming
world,
from?
I
and
don't.
now you're ready to kick somebody
Dylan.
in the mine shaft.
It's
full
not
of
me!
nose.
Oh my god.
We've been had by Sam.
No.
The ad? No,
It's
you're
on the
playing
it's
it
on the homepage of D&D Beyond. who pulled that up?
There. I muted it.
Nope, I still hear it.
I paused it. I don't hear it anymore.
You have to. Each person has to go to the
Oh,
tablet
I
and
see
pause it. Whose station is this?
That was yours.
No, it's
I
not.
don't know how the
It was not mine. I don't know what the hell I am.
Have we muted Sam Wrinkle yet?
Yeah, Sam Regal's done.
Okay.
That was.
That was crazy. And I have no knowledge. Where would
Someone
I don't
pulled
know.
that D&D
I guess I should
Beyond.
just. My name is literally not on the table. That's kind of scary.
You are not here, Summer.
Nope, I'm invisible. I died. Time to reroll.
Well, you're normally between Yui and I.
Mhm.
This
It's your
looks like one of my dice.
No, it's mine.
It's yours?
Yep.
So, the last we left our adventures, you guys went into a cave, because you have received information that apparently goblins have stolen a jade hair. They're this town's most precious belonging. You guys went in because a couple people has went in before you and they have not came out. You have discovered that apparently bugbears and hobgoblins was forcing these goblins to do so. After some talking and persuading, you had the goblins leave their cave and you guys went deeper inside. At that point, you guys came across some hobgoblins that you learned that apparently they're very tactical and they're smart, as they was very hard-hitting and hard to bring down. One ran, running down a ramp, going down to a room. You guys had no idea what was inside. Deciding that it was best to push on at this point, because he was afraid he was going to get back up, you rushed down this ramp, getting attacked by bugbears that seemed to be stealthed, because they rolled a 24 and a 25 on stealth, I do believe. Downing a couple of, well, pretty much both of your tanks at this point. Boris and the murder pigeon believed it was best to run, as Dawnhawk believed it was best to try to fight it out and shoot people from afar. A vicious battle went along, getting people up, downing people. Eventually, Lorik faded into the next life. As Dawnhawk saw, and I believe at this point, Boris and the murder bird was low enough on the ramp because they came back to see this. It seemed like you guys was unable to stop the ritual, To bring back the possessor. This possessor went into this cleric's body of Thumor. Lathander, and seemed to take over his body. This demon was big and floating, and at times you can almost think you can see through its skin and almost see through it. As it went to this body, took over it, he stood up and killed the magic user that summoned it, and seemed like it was starting to turn his sights onto the party. At this time, Boris, realizing that there was some beeping around his neck, took the gem from his neck, threw it down the ramp. It exploded. You guys managed to outrun the collapse of the tunnels, and at this point, Don Hawk said, "This is for Vorik," and he starts shooting the bugbear leader who was trying to leave. At this time, they got into a battle, and sadly, Don Hawk fell and died. Orelai, you begin to wake up on the shoulder of Boris, and as well, you can feel little feathers around your ankles carrying you. You guys are going through the woods. At this point, you start to see a town ahead of you.
Would I feel well enough to, because I can't remember if I saved my death rolls or if I got stabilized last game.
Oh, you got stabilized, and you do notice the town in front of you is Alkelum, the town that the statue was and where you guys were sent from. Seemed like you've been out for a while.
Okay. As she's coming to, she would kind of start shifting and trying to get free of the two people carrying her.
The murder bird would release, and Boris would let you stand up.
She would kind of unsteadily get to her feet and take a moment to steady herself, probably using her great axe as sort of a walking assistant, and she would look around and realize that some of the party was missing. She would look to Boris. That's what happened.
Don Hawk and Warwick didn't make it. We was able to carry you out though.
She kind of just glance back and say nothing.
Don Hawk would start describing this great demon that was summoned. Now you pretty much know all of the information about the possessor from the people who saw it and what happened down there. He would fill you in about throwing the necklace, and it seems like it has at the very least entombed this thing for at least a short while.
Well, suppose there's nothing to be done now but to rest and recover. They were good fighters from what little we knew of them. It's always a shame to lose such fine warriors.
At this time, you guys are making it to the edge of the town, and you do see the man that was talking to you and told you about the statue and the jade hair. This elderly man who still is carrying around the broom that you saw with him earlier, seemingly just standing there waiting for him. Seems very concerned and very ancient. You're back.
Some of us are.
You can see he kind of looks down. Is this all? Everyone who survived?
We saved a bunch of townsfolk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just so long ago. I was trying to remember who made it out and who didn't.
You guys saved six town folk, but there was a pile of bodies that was in the high 20s, maybe low 30s, that seemed to be drained of their blood next to the cauldron that was used for the ritual.
I would tell him that we did manage to save a few townsfolk, but I'm afraid that number was very small. There were many dead there.
So Dorel, he is fallen.
Yes, it seems so.
Kind of nods in approval. Well, not in approval, in understanding. He would kind of just stretch out his hand. I do not mean to insult anyone here by acting like this is anything of worthy of the sacrifice that was made, but it was agreed upon. And he seems to have a sack of some kind of coin. You take it?
Orlai would actually push it back to him, tell him to keep it.
Very well then. There's more people that came from the road. They was about to rush out in your direction. They're talking to the goblins currently. This way.
And we'll follow him.
In front of you, go ahead and describe what your character looks like, Kaza. All right,
He
we'll
looks
come
like
back
the
to
void.
He's a void lord.
you. Lucas, what does your character looks like?
Yes. You see a strapping young lad, 20-ish years old, but he is battle scarred. He's wearing heavy armor. He's has a long lance on his back, tousled black hair, human, and you look closely at his arms, which are exposed. Not completely covered by armor. He has like gauntlets on, and then a chest piece, and up to his bicep is gray on both arms. And then if you look a little closer, you see what looks like his veins are gray as well, trailing up into his chest piece.
Kaza, you're back. You're able to talk.
I'm good. Sorry.
Right, what does your character look like?
Well, you see a elf, though he does seem the high elves or other elves seen around. Golden, almost copper skin that seems to give off a slight glow. Versus, and an air of importance over the top. And in the center of his forehead is red jewel that seems to be set within his skin. There you'll see an owl, but this owl seems to have a third eye in the same position as Cool.
My character was creepy.
You two see a very buff lady walk up, as well as a crazy nature-looking guy, and a weird, like 2.5 foot tall bird person. You guys have been talking only for a few seconds with these goblins, but it seems to be that they was forced to steal this jade hair, and you guys was just getting into the fact of what they was doing in the cave. Right here. Excuse me, Miss. What's your name? I don't believe that we actually touched to talk before.
And that's
Hmm.
Who's speaking right now?
Do you
The
tell
old
him his
old
your name?
townsperson is speaking to Orlai, I believe, right?
I'm
Yeah.
hoping that he's calling her Miss and nobody else.
well, the
you
bird's a girl.
Well, she's not here, so we're not talking to her.
Okay. She doesn't exist anymore. She
Dead
would say,
to
"My
us.
name is yeah, my name is Oralai."
Well, these was the two that I was talking about. The two that I believe was getting prepped to go help you. They seem like fine lads, and they was talking to the goblins if you have any questions about them as well. And you are right beside these people.
Oralai would give each of them a once over and say, "What can you fight?"
It's not in the sense that you think, or that you do. He kind of looks you up and down and raises an eyebrow. What do I do?
Well, yes, I can fight indeed. I don't know if I'm sticking with that voice, but that's what I'm going with right now.
It's a good voice. It works.
Boop seems very happy when he sees the group Orla, and he runs over. Boop, boop.
She would like catch him before he.
Oh, he was going for a hug.
Yeah, she would like put her arm out to like stop him
Oh,
before you manage that.
Yeah. Now well, as soon as you put like your palm on his forehead and like he's walking forward, but he's not going anywhere, he's just gonna hug your hand. He's just above his hand.
he jumps up, wraps his legs around her arm, hanging upside down.
She would just raise her arm and just look at it, and then look to Boris and like hold her arm out, like, "Get it off me."
Boris
That was
will
quite curious.
try to pry him off of you. Boop is like, so bad Gobble's dead.
Yes. Now boop down.
Boop's gonna look at you and just lick your hand and start running away.
Resisting the urge to rage. She would look to Boris and say, "Why did we let that one live?"
Gonna give you a shrug. You do hear in the middle of the goblins that somebody begins to walk out and starts talking in common. That's pretty good for a goblin. It's gonna look at you, Orla. This seems to be the leader that you talked to earlier that speaks almost fluent common. Ah, so you stop magic?
She would look to Boris and Yes, suppose we did.
Hmm. Long ago, our tribe, we ruled area, all of area. Then human and elf and dwarf move in, make us live in caves every once in a while, not all caves. Our tribe got angry. It's been many years since then, and our tribe wanted to take back land from your people. So the Hobbs and the Bugbears, they had a plan to team up with the magic person. He said if everybody brought him enough people, he could make something appear so strong everybody would run or die. So they made a deal where they would get people for him, and he would help, I guess, us uprise. Us goblin though, the little green people, we've been changed by Darrell, and we were shown that we didn't have to raid and kill people constantly.
Why, I'm gonna switch to this voice, it's easier. Why, that makes perfect sense. If you work with the civilization, they'll be more likely to accept you.
Oh,
Most people kills goblins without speaking though. This place is different.
curious thing. Now, when did you learn to speak common so well?
Well, Darrell, for almost my whole life has been talking to the goblins in the woods, and in the last year or so, we've been coming into town and trading things from the woods for their goods. I'm pretty old. I'm 8 years old.
Mm, trading for how long?
Oh, 8 years old. I'm pretty old.
Yes, that is quite old for a goblin.
Most goblins only live 3, maybe 4. But since we've been living in these woods with working with these people, most of us are 7 or 8 now.
Does it seem like the little town here has reaccepted them into the city?
They're just standing there and they're just talking. It doesn't appear that whenever you first came up and start talking to them and they first got into town, it was a big deal and everybody was around. But after a few minutes of them explaining what happened, it seemed like they start dispersing again. It doesn't seem like they're mad or angry at the little goblin. A few of them that was, sickly and kind of hobbling, and they first got here. You notice that some of the townspeople took them to their houses, and they're starting to take care of them.
Aristide is, he'll ask, and you mentioned something powerful. What exactly? Were we supposed to raise?
Magic guy.
Yes.
He called him possessor. I don't know. He acts like he's almighty.
The barbarian, the druid, and the little feather. Did you happen to see what this possessor was, by chance?
Mm-mm. They say as strong as whole army, though.
Now that could be quite useful.
You sound like you're far away from your mic again.
No, I'm trying to. Yeah. Got it now. The barbarian woman.
She would just sort of raise an eyebrow because she has stated her name very clearly before.
Name, but I just don't particularly care at this moment. Did you happen to see the thing that they're speaking of?
She would just shake her head, but very slowly, very pointedly.
And take a look, perhaps? Is it something that can be handled?
Well, with the proper tactics, anything can be handled. Oh, how rude of me. I'm sorry. Let me, introduce myself. I am Bastion Greyhand.
Well, it's good to meet you, Bastion Graham.
And my,
I am out of
opinionated elf friend here is Arastir.
Hinal, little one, but however we can manage to say it is fine.
And I know it's been a while since you saw it, but I put the possessor next to you. So you can describe what it looks like to him if you want to describe actually what it looks like.
That thing is awesome.
Right there, like, oh, that's what it is.
I brought a sample. Here you go. No, she would just look to the elf and simply say, "Was a big ugly thing with horns."
Full description from a simple woman. Very well. Perhaps your friends will offer a little more insight?
You're welcome to ask them.
Murderbird peeps right up and says, in chest, it has an eye.
Legs of any
I also
kind?
think it has a mouth on its stomach. Floated off the air though. Has a tail.
He's gonna start from just the descriptions that she's giving. Fan from that.
Criminal sketch artist?
Yes, she's very good.
They would probably know
Yeah.
that there was some kind of design on his forehead, but they don't really remember it all that well because they was in a panic. They would also tell you they have two hands with some massive claws on them, and it floated off the ground.
sketch and kind of I'll turn it back to them and say, does it look like this? And I guess I can roll something if you want. I'm not sure what you want me to roll.
They'll look at you. Mouth bigger, more teeth. You can roll religion if you want, and anybody who like proficient in religion can roll it.
That would not be me.
Yeah, not me.
It's 15. Oh no, 13. No, 15.
From this description, you definitely think it's a fiend, but also you don't think it's any kind of devil. They typically have more of a bipedal, more humanoid forms. But demons, they typically have all kinds of forms. So you believe it's some kind of demon. The name doesn't necessarily ring a bell to you. The size kind of concerns you. And the fact it's able to, it seems like, possess people at will is kind of terrifying, but you don't come up with any lore or history from it.
Definitely something worth studying, perhaps in the future. But for now, I do believe I'm here for a job.
The elderly man kind of looks at you. Oh, yes, you mentioned identifying. One of their group bought the pearl needed for it. It's one of those who did not make it back. And the thing that he wanted to identify was the jade hair that was stolen. Apparently, Gorell thought it wasn't only magic, there was something to it that was greater.
Well, there aren't many things greater than magic, my mortal friend. It's so basically the pearl and the jade hair are still.
If Summer explained everything to you, you would know that the jade hair was used in the ritual. You don't necessarily know what happened to it, but the bird and Boris would tell you it was used up, and the shine that it used to have kind of went away when the ritual ended. So from your knowledge of arcane magic, it probably took the magic from within, and it's now just a gem. And they would tell you that the whole cave has, caved in. And the guy with the pearl, I do believe, was still inside when he fell.
No, he was out in the woods.
Oh, just outside of it? So
Yeah.
there's a dead body with 100 gold pearl right outside a cave.
Yeah, that's probably been looted by now.
You guys took your demon horses back, right?
The demon horses are... Yeah, they would have got their demon horses. But Boris would kind of open up his hand, and I would say he picked up the pearl, because he probably saw you fall.
I would assume that grubby little hands would have taken the...
So,
Oh, you...
Just have I'll have Bubo come and swoop down and pick it up, drop it in my hand.
If I remember correctly, Dylan, I believe that Don Hawk went and emptied that chest that was in there into a bag before we left.
I just don't know who had the bag.
mm-hmm.
Alright, so yeah, basically all the loot was on Don Hawk.
So I would say they probably after they believed the thing, like the danger was over, they probably would have seen if you was still around, try to search for you a little bit, and they found your body. So yeah, you see the murder bird carrying around a large bag just about as big as her. She kind of places it down. A lot of coins.
Yeah, it's got a lot of coin. It's got. Let's see, what else did I have in that bag? A suit of leather armor. Like some miscellaneous stuff, like a tent, lantern, and a claw medallion.
You got that
Among
from
other
the
things.
yeah. So at this point, the elderly man kind of pops up and says, "Ah, well, I understand if you might want to know more or figure out what's going on. Perhaps you can find out something in Darrell's house. If you wish, I would show you where it is."
I'd surely like to study this. At least in some to town. Oh, however, and I look at Bastion.
Your microphone's far away again.
That still sound far away. I'm like right in front of my mic.
Your microphone's working against you.
Damn it, microphone.
Oh, there
There
we
we
go.
go. The elderly man that seems to be that keeps up the town. He seems to be asking if you want him to show you where Darrell's house is. Perhaps he had something inside his house that might be useful to you.
See, why not? I came all the way here for a reason. And now that reason is presumably rubble. Curious man should prove some interest.
Well, this way then. This way. Kind of waving you guys to follow him.
I will, if Orlai doesn't pick up the sack from the demon bird, I will pick it up.
Yeah, I'll take it. I've got the
Okay.
muscles to carry it.
Perhaps after we investigate this, I can buy you a drink.
She would just keep walking. There's a way to flirt with her. This isn't it.
Oh yeah.
The murder bird
Wasn't flirting, it looks like you've been through hell.
Murder bird seems
Well,
like
fair enough.
she's not very interested and looking through some guy's house. So she's gonna go and try to find a job board or something. Something interesting to do around here.
Something to kill.
She's gonna take her demon steed with her.
We come back out, and all the goblins are dead. And a little feather is in each one of their hairs.
One feather is like stuck behind each of their ears.
Ears, yeah. Calling card.
Yeah, I was just about to say that calling card. She carves into one. PP was here.
So eventually he leads you to a house. It's a pretty modest house compared to most houses you've seen in this world. But it seems to be an average house in this. It seems to be very low end. That's very poor people around here. He kind of looks at you. I don't have a key. And if you know how to get into a house without a key, I know we can kick it down, but that seems like a waste. But if no way else, then I guess we could.
Is it a single-story building?
Yeah. Seems pretty small.
And it's dead.
It's about 20 by 20.
What is the construction of the building?
It seems like it's just made out of wood. It seems decently built. There's one window in the front, 2 on the side, and 2 on the back. The door as well is wood. Seems like it's a pretty janky and simple lock that's on the door, though.
All right. Let's see if we can do something about this. I would like to attempt to push on either side of the doorway in order. Is it like what type of handle is it? Is it like one of those old like ring handles where you pull down and there's like a little metal bar that pulls up on the other side?
Mm-hmm. And it has. Go ahead.
I will just I'll quickly flip out a dagger and jam it in the door frame right there and lift up, breaking in the wood if I have to.
Roll me athletic.
Certainly.
Shouldn't be that high of a DC though.
Let's see. Right character, athletics, 22.
You start putting pressure on this, and you hear some squeaking and a little bit of cracking, but without too much of the door exploding. It seems to come undone, and the door slightly opens.
Pull my dagger out, push it open, and say, "After everyone else."
Out of student, just walks right in. No, thank you.
As soon as you walk in to the right side, there's seems to be some kind of furnace for
The
burning
possessor.
things.
Ah, shit.
In the back right seems to be some kind of makeshift bed. Back left, there is a desk with some papers on it. And to the left, as soon as you walk in, there's a very small shelf with some books on it.
As soon as I walk in, I'm gonna just scan for anything that looks like it could be. I think I speak. I don't think I have any like fiendish languages, but anything that looks.
Anything looks what?
Fiendish in nature.
Sure. Anybody who's looking around, either roll me a perception or investigation. Perception if you're literally standing at the door looking in and wanting to see what you can see. Investigation if you're going in and moving things and looking through things.
I'll go in and just idly move things around, just to see if I find anything. 8.
Reroll that because it wasn't inside. You have to make it
All right.
inside.
4.
Yeah.
I just like flipping tables. No. I don't see anything of value in here.
I'll have a look from the inside too.
All right. Go ahead and
Let's
roll
see.
investigation.
Oh, did we trade places?
18
Because
plus
it's like
19 total.
So, first of all, Damon, your character walks in. He doesn't see anything that strikes him as fiendish. You take a very quick look at the books, not necessarily reading what's on the binding, but seeing if anything strikes you odd just from appearance, and it does not. You start walking over to the table, though. It's just blank papers on top of the desk. You start looking through the drawers on it. Doesn't appear to be anything in the drawers besides just some knickknacks and different things. But on the bottom drawer to the left, you do find a false bottom.
Uh, I'll remove it and see what's underneath.
Do you open the false bottom?
Where's the microphone part in this? I think I know why. Yeah, I'll open the bottom.
All right. You open this thing, and it comes right open. It doesn't seem to be locked or trapped. Underneath it, there is a book that seems to be like somebody's diary, possibly.
Let's see.
And, and underneath that, after you pick up the diary, you do notice there's something underneath the diary as well. Seems to be some kind of medallion with a fist that seems to be radiating some kind of sunlight.
I do like an Arcana check to see if it's what kind of. That's kind of a.
I'm not saying it's actually radiating energy. The artwork on it seems to be radiating energy, like some kind of beams.
Does it seem to be a religious symbol or more of a like organizational symbol?
Roll me history.
Yeah, I
And
can
go
hear
ahead and roll me history. I mean, religion as well.
you. Ooh,
It's 17. So 13 for the history and 17 for religion.
So thinking about organizations and all that, you are unable to come up with any in your mind that you know of that fits this. And knowing religion pretty well, unless it's like a very, very small, not even necessarily like a very small following of a deity you never heard of, it's not religion.
I'll kind of hold it up without looking at anyone, and I'll just say, does anyone happen to know what this is? Just out of my grasp of knowledge. Saying something.
Anybody can roll history on this, because you don't have to be necessarily proficient with history to learn this. You just got to be in the right place at the right time or talk to the right people.
I think they're both doing stuff right now.
Are they both AFK?
Yeah, they're both BRB.
Did they put that in the score? Yep. Dang it, why do they put it in Discord? I can't. I have to close tabletop to see it. So I guess I can describe what you find in the diary itself, and then you can describe to them what you find in it.
For me.
So you find roll. Oh, I guess you don't have to roll anything. Flipping through some pages real fast, it seems to be kind of a diary through his life, and you kind of skip through it and skip through it. It seems like it begins when he actually starts to go out and adventure himself. Whenever he was younger, you kind of flip through it and flip through it. Then the later pages is talking about this town and how he helped reform the people in this town and build this into a real town. And then you kind of flip backwards a little bit more. It seems like he's part of a organization because he's talked about this in his diary a little bit. Uh, the Order of the Golden Gauntlet.
Golden Gauntlet. God, I'm terrible at taking notes.
And you can
It
make
kinda
one.
does-
Once you actually hear these words, you can make one more history check to see if this sparks anything.
Let's see here. Come on, dice, roll well. It's that's 15.
Alright, the DC was a 14. To learn it from history. You wouldn't actually learn anything from it, for even if you... Well, if you were at 20 on history, I mean religion maybe, but a 19 now. Because it's more of a history thing. These people are typically spies and agents that goes around and infiltrates what they believe to be shady and evil organizations, gather information, and if they believe that they can stop this organization or group of people, they call in reinforcements and they strike.
Yeah.
You would know
They're pretty.
they're pretty widespread in this continent. You don't believe they're on the other continents, but on this continent, they're pretty widespread.
I probably haven't run into them yet. I'm fairly new to the to this realm.
But you would understand they don't take normal people. Whoever this Darrell guy is, and you're standing in his house, and you learn that he's dead, you believe he had to be pretty strong to be a part of it. They don't just take people in. They scout from afar. If somebody shows promise, they kind of test them and for a while. They don't let just anybody.
Gotcha. He's no mention anything about him teaching the goblins how to be civilized.
If you want to take more time and read, you can. I'm just saying this is kind of what you understand by flipping it and taking like 10 minutes reading.
I'll pocket it for now. Hot. It is hot as balls.
How warm is it there?
85 today.
I ain't that bad.
When it's usually like in the 60s.
Oh yeah, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's cooled off here, but last week it got up to like 110.
Hell to the no.
Alright, it's Summer or Lucas back.
I am back.
Welcome back! You actually was the next person I wanted to get to.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
You also rode pretty high on your investigation. Going through these books, you do see that these are not the normal books you would find just for, reading. Find a couple that is about fiends. You find one that's about undead. And and you find another about clerical magics. Not necessarily a straight spell book, but
Mhm.
someone who didn't know anything about what somebody can do, they could read this and understand what's going on.
I would take the books and I would walk over to the elf, and as he was sort of rifling through the diary he found, I would sort of drop them on top of his reading.
Uh, perhaps do these books have some importance to you, or in them?
I have no use for books, and you seem to be very excited about them. You can think of it as a gift if you like. And she turns and walks away.
Interesting. Notebook.
Yeah.
Barbarian woman can read. Not that much of a dick.
But yeah, you look at these and they seem just like normal books until you open them, and then you start to understand why she gave them to you. Because two about them are fiends, one of them about undead, and another one about clerical abilities, not necessarily for people to learn exactly step by step. But if somebody was trying to learn clerical magic and they was already blessed, they might be able to take inspiration and learn different spells from it.
Could be useful down the line.
I'm just letting you know, Summer. It seems like he's the one who wrote it. Like it's his handwriting.
That's They're books. They do nothing for her. She pawned them off to the first person who might have a use for them.
And after you get these books out and you kind of turn around from giving him this, you do notice there seems to be something slightly shiny behind, and it's you can just see a corner of it right now because you pulled one of the books out. You couldn't really notice it right by it because you kind of are too tall, but across the way, looking at it, you can definitely see something.
I would like to go and investigate it to see what it is.
You go and you pull out a couple more books, and there is 2 healing potions behind books.
I'll bag and tag those.
As you see Bastion flipping tables and looking through things, and he's not finding anything.
Nope.
It doesn't appear that you guys find anything else in this house.
Did we find anything?
I found 2 healing potions
Oh, nice.
and a bunch of books that I literally dropped on Bakaza's character.
Yeah, she found 2 books about fiends, one about undead, and he seemed to have wrote a book to possibly help clerics learn their magic abilities and how to train them.
How to train a
And
cleric.
even found some kind of diary. And she also found 2 healing potions.
Judging by that, it doesn't quite seem like the cleric was all on the up and up if he's studying all about fiends.
Oh, and you can also make a history check.
Ah,
Because Damon's
sure.
character held up a medallion.
get in the freaking box. 14.
Yeah. This is the Order of the Golden Gauntlet. I'll let Damon explain to you what they Go for it, Damon. Explain to him what they are.
I call him my. You're a halfling, right?
No, I'm a human.
My bad. I call him my human friend. Because I thought you were saying as halfling because you made your mini really
No,
small.
he made my token really small. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm a halfling. No, human.
I will call over my warrior friend. This you see this emblem here, and I hold up the necklace.
Yes.
You do know it's the Order of the Golden Gauntlet, correct?
It looks like a golden gauntlet. That makes sense.
Apparently, there, as I recall, looking through my during my studies of this plane of existence, at least in this realm, they are a network of infiltrators and sabotage corrupt governments, as I understand it. Experience with them before?
Corrupt governments. I've experienced corrupt governments, but not necessarily the golden gauntlet.
It's not just governments; it's any organization. So it could be cults, anything.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
they are basically agents of chaos.
They're agents of overthrowing evil people who's organized together.
So a chaotic good organization.
Yeah.
Like they don't
The
believe
very
in
the very baseline would be chaotic good. Not everybody, and that's chaotic good naturally.
right, but the idea is
yeah.
they don't like the law because the law is helpful to those that abuse it. Okay.
Very chaotic good kind of people.
Oh well, if they're
It's
good
like
at
far
talk.
too much energy.
Well,
can
actually, that's right
ask
up my
around.
alley.
Is it now? Is it really?
Well, the idea of overthrowing evil organizations or governments, ones that have archaic laws that mean nothing to those around in the present day. Yes, I can stand behind that.
Oh? Why don't you hold on to it then?
Gladly.
It over.
I will put that on. It's
Are
like
you
a
gonna
medallion,
wear-
right?
It's a medallion, and once you get your hands on it and feel of it and look at it, it seems like a solid gold.
Ooh. I give it the old bite test.
It's solid gold.
I'll tuck that underneath my my splint armor.
All right.
Let me just add a custom item here.
Is since there's nothing else here to I think just one floor.
Mm-hmm. You guys have went through this entire house. So.
I think it's time I move on. And I just start walking out the door.
Yeah, Orla would turn and head out.
I will follow. Oh my god, what happened to Orla?
What do you mean?
I did that quite a
What'd
while
you do?
ago, but nobody's noticed it, don't I?
What'd you do? What the hell is this?
I mean,
Slender
she drunk,
woman.
she drank a potion of growth, but she didn't know. But the person who made it was still learning how to make people grow, so that she just got taller,
I am literally Slender Man.
wider.
I'm gonna make you all go crazy and then harvest your organs.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, Orla, you look like you've been through hell.
I feel like I've been through hell.
You know what helps going through hell? Hard liquor.
Now you're speaking my language. Lead the way.
I could
I
do with
have
a
no
spot of
idea where
drink
I'm going.
myself.
I would, I remember, like, there's a tavern or something in this town, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so we would, once I clued in that he didn't know where he was going, I would lead him to the tavern.
Timber!
Sounds like
Let's try to tip you over.
Listen, Slender Woman's gonna come and get you in a minute, so.
Oh my god, hold on. Oh, wait. Just, can you put that on top of the... Oh, yes.
On
Let me
top
borrow
of the
this
demon?
real quick.
Oh,
Try to put it in their photo.
Nope.
No.
Oh. No, that's not what I want.
No, that's not gonna say. There's not
No,
enough depth.
I'm trying to get it flat.
Hold on, don't put it on there yet. Move it for a second.
Look at us, fun with physics. Oh, there we go. That'll help.
Jesus.
Now try.
You got it. Oh, up a little bit.
I can't go any higher.
Too high.
Let me try.
Oh, anyway,
Let me.
I was gonna make a harpoon out of it, and flick it. So we go to the bar, and I'll buy Orelai a stiff drink.
It's in.
Go.
I meant to flick it. Anyway. Oh, well, there we go.
Oh, it just dropped off the table. Yeah, I think there's too many things. It's not gonna flick very much.
Alright, no, I'm done with that.
Being severely beaten and very tired, the murder board on the horse is going upstairs and going to sleep after they get a room for themselves.
Yeah, Orelai would only have like a couple drinks, and then she would head up to rest too. She's not looking to get completely smacked, but
Yeah.
a drink or two would help her feel better.
Honestly, we'll ask you about the little bird thing, because that all of feathers is quite interesting.
I love birds.
Interesting would be one word for it. Or her.
About the murder horse that she created.
That was a heck of a encounter we had. We encountered these strange night horse creatures and managed to tame them, and she decided that she was going to teach hers to be just as vicious as she is and eat human flesh and very strange things.
And how did this horse react to the flesh?
That's a good question. Did the horse actually eat it, Dylan? I don't remember.
We rode for it and it ate it.
Scarily enough, it took to it. And I think we have all just been keeping our distance from the thing ever since.
Include their herbivores, but to examine are they in the stable? Because I'm gonna look at his poop.
I'm guessing you guys put it in the stable.
Yeah, because I was just about to say, I don't think we took them with us.
You guys took them into the woods, but Boris and everybody brought them back.
Yeah.
The one that's Boris's, and it's like as big as a war horse, seems like the rest of them just follows it. The ones that's not tamed, there is still a couple, I do believe, that's not tamed. I think like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was more of them than there were of us, but because he tamed like the alpha, they all followed.
Well, I'm off to look at that. It's quite interesting to see how it processed the human flesh.
She would
And
raise
then my drink
raise
can
her
go.
she would raise her mug and go, "Don't die."
Well, I don't plan to.
We'll see about that with that horse.
I didn't plan to last time, but
Do you have a nickname because of her Arastair?
he is very proper. I'm sorry. I know it's kind of hard to say, but yeah.
You're gonna have
We'll
to
give
make a
him-
nickname yourself. It's not a true
We'll give-
nickname unless people gives it to you.
That's true.
Yeah. We will give him
Yeah,
one,
I don't
and
have
we will,
anything personally.
and we will use it no matter how much he hates it.
I got it. Webster.
There you go.
How about Al's Elfir?
I will come with you, Arastair. And for metagaming purposes, I'm going to go there and attempt to befriend the horse of my previous character.
Yeah, RP wise, everybody who tamed a horse previously, we can just say that you take time with a new horse and you guys tame it. We won't have to go through the rows and everything, because that
Oh,
would take.
that's not what I was looking for.
I'm proficient in animal handling this time.
Ooh, me too.
So you guys make it to the stables because he's going towards the murder horse. So we're gonna have to see what happens.
I will be, in the area, obviously, in case he gets
Yeah.
in over his head like normal.
You see the strapping young steed that seems very aggressive. Maybe you enter the stable. He seems to be watching you.
Kind of see what can I do. I use prestidigitation to try and distract it. Have Bubo try and get some of that.
You're
Legal
gonna
matter?
try to get his poop. Alright, roll me a performance check to see how dazzled he is.
Shit.
Horse
Zero,
check?
but alright.
$14.
Alright, so you begin to make sparks and different things, and normally if you start making sparks by a horse's face, he'll probably freak out, but this one it seems to be entranced by it. You scoop some poop up.
With my low intelligence, you just see, at the door to the stable, you see Bastion doing the Crocodile Dundee thing.
Oh my god.
I got it for you. You can go about your
Oh, you're talking
business.
about the bull thing, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got you.
He's in the back, just turning his hand left and right.
So you scoop some poop.
And,
What do you want to do with it?
I have Bubo grab some.
Alright.
No poop.
So we got PP and Boo Boo.
Mm-hmm. So what does your owl like to do?
What's that?
Yeah. What would your owl like to do? It has some poop.
He's just gonna carry it to just outside of the stable, and I'll set up a little. I feel like as a researcher and a lore master, you'd have a what do you call it? What is the word I'm looking for? Or
What?
space you can carry around with him. Portable. There you go.
Portable what?
Station.
Oh, like a writing desk that you could just like pop out.
Like, it doesn't have to be, you know, it's not like complex. It's just something simple.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I got an idea. So like, he like pulls his robes apart, and there's like he's got this mechanism on his belt that has like a little TV dinner tray that pops out so he can write on it.
I'm okay with that.
It's like a small hard surface, so you can put like one scroll or one piece of parchment on it.
yeah, I'd say they have something portable like that. It probably weighs 15 pounds or so. Probably 15.
Is the
my
wizard
gloves.
over encumbered?
But you're not a necessarily
No.
lore master yet. You're aspiring. You're wanting to be one. But you do know a lot of crap.
A researcher, so that's the other.
He visits Reddit a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd have probably something portable. Yeah, you can pop out.
My work gloves, my leather gloves, and use my no, I don't think I need glasses. And I put my mask on, just a simple mask, and I start looking through it and playing with it, I guess.
How much would your character have researched how things digest different things?
I mean, if you studied, you know, I feel like biology was a commonly subject as far as philosophers go. So I don't know. It's up to you. My like researcher lore master from is like, you know, like a active philosopher. Quite sure how much he would know.
Roll me just a straight intelligence check.
That's I believe that's a 13.
You go through this horse's poop, and it seems pretty healthy. Nothing's wrong with it. It don't seem to be. But you do see something odd for herbivores. There seems to be some kind of meat in there. You don't know what kind of meat, but the things ate meat before.
So it fully digested. I'm gonna start taking notes. Fully digested. Ill effect. I kind of look over the horse one more time to see if it seems still healthy.
Seems like a fine horse. Besides, seems like it might have a ill attitude.
I'll write a note. Alternative feed ? Station up and put myself up and head back. I'm walking
Sebastian,
past. Yeah, as I'm walking past Bastion, I'm like, what are with your hands? It's quite distracting.
You know what? I've been looking to find out that myself. I was once cursed by a dragon shaman. It might be correlated to that.
My friend is something you should definitely tell me about.
Yes. Well, we only met just a few days ago.
I don't know if you know, but a very, very knowledgeable. There's more Fae, but maybe it would help you.
I do not discriminate. Yes, it's an interesting story, but maybe another time. It's getting late.
Yourself.
So, are we gonna share a room or separate rooms tonight?
Yes. About that. You see, we elves don't really value gold. It's more of a temporary thing. So I don't think I have any gold.
That's fine.
I'm
You can,
flat broke.
you can bunk with me and just make sure that if I need it, I will borrow some money from you.
No need for money.
You say that now.
Currently. Yeah, currently.
Yeah. So, we'll go back to the tavern and get a room.
Alrighty.
How much do I owe you for that? For the tavern and the drinks.
For the drinks and the tavern, about 1 gold.
Fair enough. Well, my friend, we're gonna have to come up with some kind of money-making scheme because we can't stay here every night at that kind of price.
Is that atypical
Actually-
of?
Would you rather just go sleep in the cleric's house? He's not gonna be there.
Can get behind.
I mean, it's free.
Man has no need of a bed.
Let's hold up there for the night.
Come on, Boobo.
So, yeah, we're gonna go into the cleric's house. Sleep in the dead man's house.
Alright, so are you gonna take his bed? You're gonna sleep in it?
Nope.
Yeah, you're an elf. You don't really have to sleep, right?
No, I just kind of go. I just kind of meditate.
And it's a training that they learn whenever they're like starting to grow up. You can sleep, just you don't have to sleep.
Now, I could be wrong,
I'm
but
my notes.
the elves in historically, if they actually sleep, they have memories of like previous ancestors or something like that.
Memories of their previous lives, but you can do that in your trance too.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll take the bed. And Arastir sees as I pull off my splint armor and my gauntlets, and he sees the rest of my hands are completely gray, and they don't look like normal skin that's gray colored. It's almost like the skin has sucked into the muscles, and so the muscles are extremely defined, and it's gray, and it has occasional, not necessarily warts, but like bumps on it. And he goes ahead and pulls off his tunic from underneath, and he sees in the center of Bastion's chest is a dark gray, stylized dragon that these gray veins seem to come from.
He kind of looks you up and down, but he says nothing. Meditation.
And you see him pull off his boots, and his legs are the same way. His feet are also gray.
Coming up with tests to test the tissue.
Go for it.
But yeah, you reminded me whenever you're like, I take my splint armor off. Oh yeah, you don't have any gold either.
No, I've
Because if
got
you started that,
a
you-
little bit of gold, but not a lot. And-
Morning comes. You all wake. If you guys want something to eat, it seems like this is a pretty small town, so either you can try to harass local people to give you food, or you can go to the tavern.
Before we set out, I'm going to ask Sebastian. Is it Sebastian?
Bastion.
Bastion. I couldn't help but notice the irregularities.
Yes, with the skin.
A sample, perhaps. Just a small sample. No pain.
Sure, I'm all for figuring out what's going on. And I'll pull out my dagger and just pull a little bit of skin off of, like, my thumb. There you go.
Very good, very good. And I will put it in a little vial and put it in my pack
Alrighty.
for another time.
Orlai, you're downstairs. Whenever you go downstairs, you see Boris and the bartender. You guys haven't been to this tavern yet, so I'll explain to you what the bartender looks like.
Oh, that's true.
The bartender is a dwarvish man with a black beard, and he has one braid that goes down the right side of his hair. He seems to be very burly and all that. Last night when he was talking to him, he seemed pretty friendly. Joked around with you a little bit. When Orlai comes down, he's like, "Hey, got something to tell you."
Sorry, forgot I was muted. She would like give a nod like of acknowledgement, like he's ready to hear what it is he's got to say.
Well, this morning, whenever that little bird came down that was traveling with you, she saw one of my patrons and she yelled "slaver" out loud. They locked eyes and he ran outside. She came back in a few minutes later with some blood on her. She says she figured out where more slavers was and she was heading out. She said not to worry about her. She'll kill all the slavers herself.
With their demon horse.
Well, I wish her safe journeys.
So what will you have?
What time of day is it? Is this still evening or?
It's morning at this point. You guys just woke up.
Give me a good hearty breakfast and a good ale, good breakfast ale.
That breakfast ale. I like your style. Not many people besides dwarves have breakfast ale.
Good way to start the day.
He'll go and he'll give you your ale, and he gives you a pretty hearty breakfast. It's pretty much biscuits and gravy, but it's bread and gravy here. He also cut up some meat very finely and put it next to it.
Ooh,
Nice.
that sounds delicious.
Gotta get that protein.
Chip beef gravy?
At this time, Bastion, you
Mhm.
enter. Crap! I'm gonna have a hard time saying that with your elven friend. What are you gonna come up with a nickname for him?
We'll think
You know,
of something.
after seeing him dig through horse feces, I think I'm gonna call him Wormser.
Be careful on the nickname you choose, my human friend.
Let's put it this way: if you were to abbreviate your name, how would you put it?
In character,
Yes.
you seem simple man.
Quite.
Value our names very much. So to shorten it, respect our name. Do not have a nickname or a shortened version of my name. Steel Tenal is my name, and that's what it shall be.
Right.
So yeah.
Hmm.
Not going to agree to any nickname whatsoever, but I'm more than happy to get one
Yeah. Pompous
as
title.
a player.
We call him Pompadour. No one said you had to like it.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it'll grow on you.
Yeah.
We'll come up with something.
Yeah, we'll brainstorm this.
Workshop
Have a group meeting.
it.
Working lunch, you know.
Elves Anonymous.
Oh god.
You two enter. He give, as long as you guys don't want fruit or something light, he'll also give you the same.
No, that's fine for me. Aristide, do you want milk?
Vegetables, perhaps, or from freshly baked. That? Any of that?
You want freshly baked bread?
Would be very good.
He kind of squints his eyes at you. Alright, I think I know what you want. He goes to the back. A little bit later, he comes back. It's still, steam still rolling off this baby. And it seems like it's very, very fresh out of the oven. And he sets down a jar of honey next to it.
You know me so well. I will take both of those. Sit at the table.
I know people pretty well. I've seen many people come and go. Highfalutin people like you, if they ask for fresh bread, they typically either want some, a little bit of butter or honey. You look like the honey guy.
On, sir.
Yes, he's just as sweet as can be. I'll take my bread and gravy over to the table where my new friends are.
And whenever you bite into this meat that's been finely cut, and I mean like it's very fine, kind of like hamburger meat almost, you would bite into it, and it's kind of a spicy sausage flavor.
Dwarven chorizo. Yum.
Orelai's having some reservations and is trying to see if Horace is in the kitchen.
It's
Based on past experience.
it is not nearly as spicy as Boris's. This is mild compared to his.
Okay. She tastes spice and she's automatically like, where's that little one?
Oh, by the way, out of character. Summer, be careful what you grab in that bag. There's some nasty herbs in there.
Well, if she doesn't know what they are, she's probably not going to use them. But I mean, she
Just
does have
saying,
a
if
bit
you're
of a
digging
sword.
around.
It's fine. Her
It's
character would probably grab it.
My character would do a survival check to see if I know what the hell it is.
But yeah, you guys have been carrying around this very large bag of it seems like gold and miscellaneous coins for a while. Keep carrying it if you want. At this point,
Yes. So, Orlai, was it?
Mm-hmm.
So what did you plan on doing, after this, coming to this fine establishment?
She would shrug and continue eating and say, well, I'm not sure. The wild man isn't anywhere to be found at the moment, and the murder burb has run off. I was hoping to just continue my journey without company. I do believe there are other places where they could use a strong arm and a powerful weapon. Suppose I'll head that way.
If they could use one, then they can most certainly use two. If you don't mind, I'll join you on wherever you're going. Seems like there's no work here at the moment.
As long as you can fight and keep up, you're welcome.
Well, I can most certainly keep up. Nice.
You hear from the back a very loud yell. You son of your selfish, you mother... And at this time you hear the dwarf yell, hey, keep it down from back there. And you hear Boris coming out. His eyes are red. It looks like he got spice in his eyes. And he has something that's like just resonating red from all the spice he put on it. Some kind of meat, and he's going to come down and sit next to you.
Oh, good.
Orlai's just shaking her head.
His food wasn't spicy enough.
Pigeon's here. Tell him. So you need a warm kick in the morning there, wild man?
Well, that's how I learned to cook. It's the only kind of food I like. You want a bite? And he starts to like shave off a piece to give to you.
I'll take it.
Roll a con saving throw.
Orlai's eyes go wide. She takes a big draw from her mug of ale. Like, oh my god.
16.
The DC was actually 16 because he put a lot of spice on this
Oh
one
shit.
because it was just for herself. So your eyes start to water. You start to get all nasally and start to get some mucus in your nose. It starts to run a little bit. You're able to hold it together, but holy crap, this is probably the hottest thing you ever ate.
Did you
And this
learn
man
this
sitting
recipe
next to you.
from a dragonborn by chance?
Nope.
It's pretty good. I down my ale real quick.
Yeah. And you down it real fast, and you probably want to order another.
Just go out back to the cow and just milk it into my mouth. I'll go to the dwarf and say there, barkeep. You know of any work around here?
Well, there's a job board in the middle of town. Well, since you guys dealt with the problem of the goblins and people going missing in the hair, I don't think anything's in this town, but we do have a network, small one at least, that you might find a job board in this town that might need help in the next town.
I'll have to look at... Actually, I'm gonna go for a walk. Thank you.
He kind of looks you up and down. You're kind of a guy that gets frightened easily, or don't really care what's in front of you.
I'd say he doesn't really care what's in front of him.
So you look back to that. He kind of turns and kind of smiles. Well, jump the next town over to the northwest. They've been in for a long time. They've had problems with undead. Now, they typically protect themselves, but they have to stay inside the city with the town walls. at nighttime that ain't able to leave out. Every once in a while, there's an incident during the day. I heard that they're willing to pay if you're willing to get rid of their undead problem.
Fighting the undead? That sounds fun. Something I haven't done before. Thank you for the tip.
You go out the eastern road, and then once you make a crossroads, you start going north from there. Take you to jump.
Did the A elf and I head down from that direction?
I'd probably say that you came directly from north.
Okay.
It's a smaller road. I'm guessing you guys are traveling on the main road.
Oh, okay. So I'll head back over to the table and unceremoniously slap Arastir on the back. Have you had any dealings with the undead?
Who you asking?
I'm asking you.
Shit. Not directly, but I have seen them here and there during my studies, but I would like to take a closer look if I could.
Well, there's some work in a town not far off the road we came in on. And they have a problem with the undead at night. And they're stuck inside their town.
Do we know what kind of undead?
I'm sure we'll find out once we get there.
Mystery that needs solving is something I could definitely get on board with.
They said they would pay if we solved their problem. Or it sounds like we could use a strong arm and a decent fighter.
My axe is always ready.
Alright.
And she would look to Boris and go, "What about you, wild man?"
He's stopping crying at this point, but he's still wiping the tears from his eyes.
She would pull
this is
out
hot in my eye.
She would pull out her water flask and kind of like put it in his hand because she's not sure he can actually see it. And just like, wash your eyes out.
He starts pouring it in his eye. No, thank you. Yeah, he's all right with going to fight undead. Seems unnatural.
Judging off the description we were given, how long do you think it would take to get there by horseback?
If you leave in the morning, you would camp for one night and get there about 11.
Okay, so a day and a half travel.
Yeah.
As long as we don't arrive there at nightfall, get in there and get a lay of the land, I don't see a problem with that. Well, if you're feeling up to going, and Arastir, I think we can leave after breakfast. I don't know why the person with terrible intelligence is leading this party, but I will.
It's great.
It lives dangerously.
Into battle.
Would you guys like to pick up anything before you leave this town?
I have no money.
I also have no money.
Orlai's sitting on like
I
300
have no
gold.
interest in shopping.
She's got the money, doesn't want to spend it.
She's like, "Look, I got everything I need, and if I need to..." So it's like, what do I need to buy?
Would I know anything that would potentially help against undead?
So you leave town.
I think because I asked if there's anything that's potentially to help with undead.
In this town in particular,
Yeah, if there's anything in general that could be used against undead.
common knowledge would tell you there's holy people called clerics that is very effective against undead.
This one died.
Yeah, in this town they died. You also heard of clerics, paladins, and some special priests that's very blessed can make holy water, and that could potentially help you against undead.
I just because I know this dude's a cleric, I'm gonna go back to his house and just check in his kitchen or for like a shrine of some kind. I mean, not in the kitchen, but that was pretty good. How'd you do that?
I don't know.
It was an accident. I flicked my token.
You just started doing the wave.
Smacked it.
I was making it flip. Dylan, take this distraction away from us.
I gave it to you. I can't take it away.
Oh my god.
You go back to his house, and there doesn't necessarily be any shrine.
Go on to like
you can roll a religion if you want.
20.
With the 20, you would understand a lot of people would have shrines in their house. But there's some holy people that believes that they carry their shrine and their temple with them. And they don't need the shrine and everything. They just need their selves and their deity to make a connection. You actually don't find any kind of water at all. Not a water skin, nothing in there.
Maybe he was not planning on coming back.
It appears that he took everything possibly with him that he might need on a journey.
I was going to say either that or he's a man who loves his ale and doesn't have water.
There's no there's no liquids in his house.
He was undead to begin with. Good thing he's gone.
Do you guys take your time and eventually tame some horses for everybody? You guys start heading out to the west. You make it to the crossroads at about 4 in the afternoon. It depends on what kind of undead. Like greater undead, it would probably help.
Okay.
But you understand if it's greater undead, you guys shouldn't probably be going there. Like if you guys believe it's greater undead, you probably need to run.
Like a legit cleric or something.
Or paladin.
You guys start heading north. It starts to become sunset. You guys set up your campy camp.
Dylan, how would one go about training their horse for combat?
At the beginning, I guess you would have people sparring next to it to get used to that. If you have some kind of magic user that can make loud sounds and bangs and stuff, that would help. And then once they're kind of used to that, you would probably try to spar off of your horse so they can get
Okay.
used to it. But after that, you probably need to find people in other towns the horse don't know and spar against them on your horse. Because
I
your
see.
horse eventually get used to just the people around, and they wouldn't really care what you're doing around that person.
All right, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll tie the horse up to a tree and just practice my lances at night.
Alright, so that's what happens. You guys settle down for the night. Would you guys like to take shifts, or you guys all going to sleep?
I'll take first watch.
I'll take second, and the elf can stay up for the rest of the night. As
Both of you roll
I don't see in the
perception.
dark very well.
That's a 1.
15 for Bastion.
Yeah, and Summer, was you first?
I rolled a 1.
Was you first watch?
You
Yes.
don't have any plus for wisdom?
I don't think it matters when it's a natural.
Hey, could be a 2.
You
You don't automatically fail skill checks.
Perception is a +1.
2.
So with that, you're going about. Nothing seems to be happening around. Everything's just fine, Summer. Everything's just fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
Until
Oh shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
Until what?
I'm guessing you're sitting down at this point. So with advantage, because you were surprised at this, you feel a very sharp and forceful bite. Make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Okay, saving throws. Okay, I got a +5 to that. So
You should be good unless you roll.
You
really
need level 7 barbarian.
14 +5, 19.
Alright, so with this, you are bit, and from the force of it lunging at you, it actually makes you stand up besides knocking you prone. And you see on the back of your arm, attached, it seems to be a wolf, just attached to you, biting and shaking his head back and forth. You are quite surprised by this, but as you
Nice.
stand up, you notice there's more figures, more wolves coming out of the shadows, starting to enter the campfire light. Seems like you're getting surrounded at this point,
Yeah.
and that's where we'll call it for this week.
Oh,
Oh, well,
ending it early? Oh, man.
well, I've been down this road before. I know exactly what's going to happen. You guys are fucked.
Pack of wolves?
These may very well be werewolves,
Oh,
unless they are just straight wolves. But if they're werewolves, you guys are fucked because I
They-
just got bit.
They
Where-
seem like normal wolves. Besides, normal wolves wouldn't come up to a campfire and attack most
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I may be turning on the party, just so you guys know.
But also, your two new friends failed to tell you. Once you start going north, things seem to be strange, and it becomes dangerous. Things that normally don't attack seems to be attacking.
Well,
Oh,
I know
yes,
what
by
I'll
the
be
way.
doing. What's up?
no, no, I was joking.
Oh,
Oh, man. Cutting it early? Ah,
Yeah, cut it early, so we can jump into it next week full speed into combat. You guys fight. Hopefully, Boris is there. Because
hopefully we don't die.
without Boris, this would definitely be a very, very, very hard fight. With Boris, you guys should be able to manage this fine.
Hmm.
Because it's a whole pack of wolves. The glance that she got, she has no idea exactly which number, but there's more than 5.
Just what we needed.
Yep.
Well, cool.
Well, I know I'll be skinning these guys. Fight's over. Skin them, put some teeth, maybe.
I'm just totally curious, out of character, why would you turn on us?
Well, if it's a werewolf and I've just been bitten, I'm going to change. This happened in our first campaign when I got bit by a werewolf.
Oh,
But it was a werewolf.
I literally dragged our bard over much distances because he shot me with an arrow that was attached to a chain that was attached to his belt, and he couldn't slow me down.
well, that's a dumb bard.
Yeah, for some reason he thought it was a good idea to, like, he was really gonna be able to stop a bard. I mean, a barbarian that became a werewolf. He really thought he could stop her by attaching himself to it.
So if these are just straight wolves, we'll be okay. But my first thought, honestly, is werewolf.
See, I'm glad you think that way, because my first thought is it's only level 3, but I haven't played in one of Dylan's campaigns, so.
Well, I don't
the first
trust
time
Dylan.
the first time they ever ran into a werewolf, they was level 3. They only fought one at the time. They learned about werewolves, and at level 4, they fought against the pack.
Hmm.
But one of their pack turned against them because it's one of the player characters
Yeah.
that was getting introduced.
Cool.
So
Felt bad because the paladin had been bit as well, but he didn't roll quite as well on his strength checks. So he was just kind of flopping around in his cell because he was all chained up.
He did that
get very far.
yeah, he did that for the longest time. But towards the end, like by the time you downed the bard, because the bard thought it was a good idea to shoot the werewolf with a fireball to make it come back to him, besides keep running into the woods. But it did save Summer from going to the alpha though of the werewolf, so I guess it was good.
Yeah, it worked out.
The paladins, by the time all this crap happened, all the guard was alerted. So all the guard was waiting for them to leave the dungeon from underneath the town. So he got peppered with javelins and spears, and he got down pretty much instantly by like 16 of them.
Yeah. He got pretty wrecked.
They stopped throwing him after he reverted back into his human form, though, so they was nice.
Yeah.
Then he was just a porcupine.
With no clothes.
Yeah, like it was like this paladin, like he was super modest and everything. And whenever he woke up, he was tied up with chains from like his neck all the way down to his feet, but he was butt naked. And the whole party was in the same room as him, and he's like, and they unlocked the chains, and he's like, well, can you leave?
Gilmore, you're a poor hunter. Well, kill it!
Mm-mm.
Alright, so hopefully we can get some more players in.
I'm trying to find a player. I'm not going to just like, hey, we need a player and I just want one. I will put out the word that we're looking for one on Tabletop Simulator, and if I'm only going to accept them if I really truly believe they'll fit in well with the group.
Yeah.
Well, if he's gonna hunt something, he should hunt it. Well, he tapped it.
But it was just for fun.
Yeah.
It was like a toy. I've had cats before. They will play with whatever, but they will never kill it. They'll play with it, and they're like, I'm bored, and walk away.
He killed 2 moths last year. I mean, like big super moths. He wasn't a gentle boy last year with the moths. Oh, that's true. He was a baby.
And I'll ask my buddy because he just moved, so he might not be able to do next week. But I'll let you know.
Yeah, if you guys know people, go ahead and let them know. But I'm just letting you know. Don't get mad if I say no to your friends.
Well, I bounced on things then.
Because I'll treat them like everybody else. about the interview process.
Yeah, I don't know too many people, so all good.
I only know like one person that might join, but whenever I was making the group, he was like one of the first people I asked, and he said he probably didn't have time, but he said probably.
Mm-hmm. Can always ask.
So who knows?
Yeah, we need some vigor up in this party.
Well, if I tell him that he can make a character with vigor, he was around. He was in the game that I first ever joined, and I met you, Lucas, like a week or two after I joined my first group.
Mm-hmm.
And his character instantly hit it off, and his character was a half-orc who was pretty stupid. So he made a deal with a man, not knowing that if he lent him the boat that he was going to do favors. And he was like, "Oh, this man's really nice, letting us." I'm like, "Mm-hmm."
I like it.
And the DM in that game, it doesn't matter how many points of damage you do to a vampire spawn or a vampire eventually maybe. You have to get to his heart and stake it, to kill it. And that character of his saw my character rip a heart out of a vampire, throw it over to the ranger, and I'm like, stake it! And at that point, we start playing hot potato with the vampire heart because nobody wanted to stake it for some reason. And then somebody finally staked it, and that character thought it was a magic arrow. So he carried around a broken arrow that he believed was magical and would slay anything it pierced.
That's awesome.
Ooh.
All right, I'm gonna head out of here.
Yeah, I gotta do garbage, so I'm